Unlimited L's new Venezuelan illegal randomly attacked a woman on a Florida beach and stopped only when he thought she was dead. The 26-year-old man, who deputies said is in the country illegally, faces an attempted murder charge after investigators said he randomly attacked a woman along a beach in Martin County last week. Wow.
This all happened around 11 o'clock Thursday night. The victim told deputies her attacker came up from behind, hit her, then pushed her into the water and tried to drown her. During that struggle, she lost consciousness.
He said he just held her down until she went limp, at which point he thought she was deceased, and he let her go.
When she regained consciousness, the woman walked more than a mile until she found a sheriff's deputy. On Sunday, 26-year-old Saeed Alexander Hernandez Gonzalez was arrested and confessed to the attack. That happened after his girlfriend called Port Saint Lucie police saying he was suicidal. Port Saint Lucie police told Martin County detectives
it's not exactly how you control a delete yourself
on the beach. Hernandez Gonzalez then making comments to detectives that he saw the woman alone and she made him, quote, angry. We're told he's here undocumented from Venezuela and is now being held on an ICE detainer. He's charged with attempted first-degree murder and is being held without bond.
Well, they sure as hell ain't letting him go. Not in this state, not in Florida. And by the way, you can open and conceal carry in Florida now. You can carry rifles, handguns. You can carry whatever you want. So I guess if you're going to the beach after dark, at this point, you might want to go armed. Okay, so this actually reminds me, I almost forgot to bring this up earlier. So that whole Pawtucket, Rhode Island shooting that happened in that ice skating rink, I showed the video on yesterday's episode. So it was confirmed that 3 are dead, including suspected shooter after targeted shooting at youth hockey game in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Police Chief Tina Goncalves says, quote, it appears that this was a targeted event, that it may be a family dispute. The incident occurred at Dennis M. Lynch Arena. The shooter died of apparent self-inflicted wound. Victims' names withheld pending family notification. So, yeah, so this happened yesterday around 2:30 in the afternoon, and this is the guy who did it. Turns out he was transgender, and he killed either his current wife or former wife and one of his children, and then he turned the gun on himself. So I'm going to play this. I didn't play this clip. There was a new clip that was released after the initial video clip went viral. I will say viewer discretion is advised. It doesn't show anything like, in my opinion, too hot for YouTube in terms of, like a gore or whatever. I don't even know. I'm trying to use like a G-rated word, but I can't find one. But anyway, so it's about like a minute and a half. So I'm going to play this. So of course, viewer discretion is advised if you want to skip ahead about a minute and a half. So we'll give this a quick watch. And it doesn't look like that there's sound here initially. So there he is right here. See the guy wrestling with him. I'm assuming they cut it right before he deleted himself. And that's the shooting that's happening, obviously. I think this was the angle that I showed yesterday. So I don't know if they... Okay, so looks like they might have some outdoor footage.
She described that shooting suspect as her father. She came out of the police department behind me here in tears after presumably being interviewed by police.
My father was a shooter.
What happened?
Shot my family. And he's dead now.
What was the reasoning? Was there a family argument?
He has mental health issues.
So yes, she goes on to describe those mental health issues a little bit more. She says that he had been struggling with mental health for quite some time. She said, quote, identity. He was very sick.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if this is like he doesn't look like a mainstream news kind of guy, but I'm sure that's what he was dancing around. The fact that it turns out, at least from what I've seen, he is a transgender. And matter of fact, I found his profile right here on the X platform. This is him, supposedly. I'm not 100% positive. I could be wrong. I could have been misinformed. But supposedly, this is the guy. This is the guy who committed that shooting yesterday around 2:30. This is his profile image. and apparently he identifies as transgender, or he did. And yeah, from Rhode Island, so that would be consistent. This most recent post that he made was February the 15th. This is the most recent one that I could find, where he says Jewish president, but okay. But anyway, so there's been quite a few comments on this post by people saying "burn in hell." Congratulations, you've made your kind even more hated than it already was. Enjoy hell, your real home. Your family is in heaven while you're burning. For your information. Once again, trans. So, those posts are obviously going to be in here. I'm not going to go too far because I didn't really read through these. So of course, on the X platform, things can get really hairy really quick, pretty spicy, way too spicy for YouTube in many cases. But anyway, so actually I did catch this. Do a comprehensive analysis of this person and identify which political or commentator figures would this person mostly align with. So I don't know if this guy's like maybe leaning over on the left or maybe not. Maybe he's just like in the middle of the road kind of guy. He's from Canada. But Grok says, based on T. Girl Kuda's recent X post, the account appears to identify as transgender, often defending trans individuals aggressively against critics such as like Kevin Sorbo and Alex Jones. Posts show sarcasm toward identity politics, e.g. Kamala Harris, anti-tax sentiments, and occasional ethnic, religious commentary. Alignment leans toward libertarian-leaning conservatives with pro-trans views, similar to Blair White or Caitlyn Jenner. So anyway, that's pretty much the base. That's about as far as I went, as far as like his profile and following up on what what the fallout was after he shot up his family at that ice skating arena. But his main post, he's just, hold on, let me go back. Like here we go. He doesn't actually post anything. He just reposts everything. James O'Keefe, Thomas Massey for Congress, Alex Jones. I mean, Grok said he was anti-Alex Jones, so I don't know why he's posting Alex Jones stuff. Marjorie Taylor Greene. So he posts a lot of conservative content. But anyway, just to point out the fact that he's transgender and they take a lot of medication that, it messes with your hormones, messes with what is it, estrogen or something? I don't know. I'm about as ignorant as you can possibly get when it comes to like transgender medications. I just know it fucks with your brain, and you're not supposed to be taking that if you're a man and trying to become a woman, because it messes up with your chemical balance in your brain and it leads you to do things that you ordinarily wouldn't be doing, such as killing your whole family. Not saying that all transgenders are going to do that. I would go as far as to say probably 98% of them would never even think to do something like that. I just want to be clear about that. Although I believe the statistic is 40 or 45% of transgenders at one point of their life will either contemplate deleting yourself or attempting to delete yourself. I think it's like 40% actually attempt at some point. So, and it's, look, man, I think a lot of it has to do with just the medications, man. You're pumping yourself up full of these chemicals that your body was not designed to take. So anyway, I just thought that I would just show that. I came across that earlier today. So, that happened. And unfortunately, that poor woman, she lost her family. And that was not classy at all that somebody from the media would be interviewing her after learning that. That was kind of jaw-dropping. So, okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Open Borders Institute continues to defend the criminal illegal aliens who are killing Americans. Fixed this for you from David J. Beer. So this is his post that they quote-unquote fixed. The driver was wrong, but ICE official policy doesn't allow dangerous vehicle pursuits just to effectuate a civil arrest. ICE keeps raising the stakes for every arrest, leading people to flee. And then ICE engages in reckless chases, endangering the public. Follow the training. Now, I think the blame can be squarely placed on the elected officials who are not allowing ICE to go into the jails and apprehend them in the first place, as well as the Democrats who allowed the border to be thrown wide open and tens of millions of them flooded into the country. And the vast majority of Americans are all in favor of them being deported. So, and then they reposted ICE. This is where they derive their comment from. This is an utterly disgusting lie. A Guatemalan criminal illegal alien fled from law enforcement and crashed into another vehicle, killing Linda Davis, an American citizen and beloved teacher at Hesse K-8. This is in Georgia. This tragic loss of life at the hands of someone who shouldn't be here could have been prevented. Our prayers are with the Savannah, Georgia community and the family of Linda Davis. And I think that was what I was looking for last night. When did they post this? Okay, so that was earlier today. Last night I was trying to see if Department of Homeland Security or if ICE had followed up with anything, and this would most likely be their follow-up to the tragedy that happened. ICE killed a teacher in Georgia today when they chose to chase a man who posed no danger and had no criminal history. Look, if you watched my episode yesterday, I totally called this. This is what the left is going to say. They're going to say, well, they shouldn't have been chasing him in the first place. They should have just left him alone. It's ICE's fault that he made that illegal U-turn. Had they not been chasing him, he wouldn't have done that. I mean, come on, man. It's too easy. Linda Davis was killed by ICE today. A black woman, a beloved teacher, killed by ICE in Savannah, Georgia. No, she was killed by an illegal immigrant. We all know it. They just don't like the truth. They really hate to hear the truth. Okay, and so let's see what the reply was. Oh yeah, so we already read the reply from ICE. You know, the driver was wrong. Pure, plain, and simple. Okay, all bookmarks. Rep. Mark Harris, and this is going to be Rep. Mark Harris of North Carolina from the 8th Congressional District. 2 illegal aliens arrested for a home invasion involving assault and kidnapping. This happened right here in North Carolina. Meanwhile, Chuck Schumer is holding Homeland Security funding hostage. Democrats want to protect criminal aliens like these instead of victims. Yep. It's very appalling, man. It's absolutely horrible. And Homeland Security, illegal aliens do not deserve American tax dollars. Just a little after 1 year of President Trump and Secretary Noem's restoring integrity to our immigration system, we have seen a huge decline in illegal immigrants exploiting welfare programs. These are programs paid by and meant for American citizens. We will not allow any more of our tax dollars to flow into the pockets of illegal immigrants. Look, I'd like to see a poll conducted on that. Like, what percentage of Americans are perfectly fine with illegal immigrants getting your tax money in the form of welfare dollars? I bet that the number is going to be a lot higher than 76% of Americans that are in favor of mass deportations. So DHS is shutting off welfare to illegals. 36% of illegal aliens have stopped participating in welfare programs. It's still a much smaller number than it needs to be. It needs to be 100%. 42% of illegal aliens have avoided applying for a welfare program, and 11% of illegal aliens have dropped out of a welfare program. Look, I think if you're not an American citizen, whether if you're here on a visa, on a green card, permanent residency, I don't care what your status is, you shouldn't be eligible for any government assistance at all. I don't believe you should be. You know, go back to I'm sure that their own country that they came from, they probably have some form of government assistance. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I would even go as far as to say, even if they're paying taxes, if they're taxpayers and they're paying into just income tax or what have you, no, you're not eligible for government assistance. Sorry. You got to become an American citizen first.
If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Check out The Swamp, Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern, with segments dropping on the daily. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.